hard at work finishing off Elindil's secret so that you can watch it. We've finished all the blue screen shots and on to doing some final effect shots like this one here where we've got a knife being put into the shot. At the moment we've got music happening, we've got sound effects happening, and we've got colour grade happening. And really once those things are finished, we've got a finished movie. But let's jump into a couple of these blue screen shots as you can see here. So this is basically the shot that was taken in our makeshift studio. What we go through now is the process in order to remove that blue screen and turn it into a shot. So we've got a different background, we've got rid of the tracking marker, we've got rid of our little mat over here, and we now have the final shot. Basically the process for doing that, by taking the original shot, which we see here, taking a background which we've created, which is really just a bit of a textured wall with different coloured lights. Extracting the blue areas. This is actually done through many different ways. We do a highlight. We highlight areas where there is hair because we want to key that in a separate way. We also go through and we recolor the image, because what happens is when you've got the blue image, you find that the blue actually spills onto the faces a little bit. So it's actually quite complicated getting a nice key where you get this fine detail in the hair, and so we can even see eyelashes, little breaks in the blue, and we get a nice area and a nice cutout essentially. The white area is the bit that we want and the black areas are the bit that we don't want. And it goes from a shot like that where it's blue to a shot without any of that. And then you can see, so that's the outline without the blue. We've now got rid of the blue, and then what we've got to do is then put it on top of the background. Now the background is kind of a whole beast of its own. It starts out as a simple image. I've actually flipped it around because I wanted it a different direction. I've added in what's called a Z map, and it actually gives you a bit of depth to the shot, and you can blur, depending on how far away the image is from other areas, you can blur them in different ways. This one's actually fairly flat, so I've just given it an overall blur so it feels like it's behind them. I've put in a little detail which is basically this shape here, which is a checkerboard, and it's rotating over the background just to give the background a little bit of movement. In this scene, that's kind of the effects of fire around them, so we wanted to give this sense that the background was moving with the flames. I put in a bit of a glow effect just so we feel like there's that glow happening, and you can kind of see in the brighter areas that you lose a bit of the definition and it just feels like it's glowing. And the other thing that happens is the background actually moves. So we've actually, using those tracking markers, we move the background. It's not the foreground that's moving. So here, as Cassie moves across, the camera moves, and that movement is in the original shot, and we just replace that movement and add it to the background. So the foreground element is just a static frame, and the background moves at the same time that the camera moves. So, blue screen finished, effects and various things still happening, but hoping that in a few months we'll have the movie finished for you to watch.